offhand, I don't remember. I think the Commission on Human Rights has 4 vacancies, and it has been recommended. Of course, the mayor ultimately um, makes the recommendations for nomination. But Tony Collins, who happens to live in my ward, Ward 7, who is transgendered, and it's important in a lot in the gay community. A lot of persons have given that recommendation that there's no representation on the Commission on Human Rights,
or in the office,
or in the Office of GLBT Affairs. The attention is not going to the transgender population. So I am well aware of that, and I would love to make that recommendation for Tony Collins. What ward do you live in?
I live in Ward 2.
There's a large representation. I was trying to kind of bridge the gap in terms of the ward representation and the population representation in human rights. There's a large percentage from Ward 2, Ward 4, 3. There's no representation at all east of the river, and no representation from the transgendered community on the commission. And you mentioned the issue with employment discrimination. So there needs to be representation on the commission, someone who can understand that situation. Also, you mentioned Department of Corrections. Now, I know there was some disagreement where to house the inmates at DC jail if they are transgender. Should they go with the women's facility, the men's facility, and did we reach any conclusion with that?
Actually, there was a conclusion that was reached, but it really didn't comply with Title IV, Chapter 8, the district regulation.
So it's still based on biologically.
Essentially, the district agency, the Department of Corrections, is going to continue to violate district regulation as a matter of policy. They forget the housing. They won't provide the proper attire, the proper toiletries, the proper undergarments, or even use the proper pronoun. They will skirt around that rather than provide simple courtesy and dignity. The Office of Human Rights, which employs 30 individuals, there's no transgender individual who works there as a tester, or there's no one in the Office of GLBT Affairs who is transgender. But if there's only 6 in the entire district government, which employs 26,000, there's no one at the Department of Employment Services, which employs 450 people, that is openly transgender.
And you mentioned